Good morning, welcome along everybody. It is time for our Tuesday circuit. 11 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, we have a new circuit for you. As always, make sure you've got some hydration available, so make sure you've got a drink available, make sure you've got some space, and some bottles or tins or anything like that, so you've got some. You're going to need a chair, so have yourself a chair available, and remember about your that's what I'm thinking of. Looking for a button at the same time. So in our warm-up we're going to do in a moment, we're looking around about the 9, 10, 11 mark when we get into our main workout. 12, 13, 14, possibly hitting 15, but not on a regular basis. As always, you've got an easy option, a medium option, and a harder option. You choose which one you want to do. We'll go through first time and then we'll work it on from there, okay? So on the first round, you do what you feel comfortable with. On the second round, try and challenge yourself. Try and go a little bigger or move up a level if you can. All right? So we'll say hello to the team. So far in here we've got Lee. Say hello, Lee. Greet. Good afternoon, good morning to Becky. And salutations to Lou there to help make you feel. There you go, guys. With your greetings, we'll have salutations. Let's get ourselves started with a bit of a warm-up then. So firstly, we're going to stand with our heels outside our hips, and we're going to lift those shoulders towards our ears. Now, keep the neck long, so lift the shoulders up towards the ears, and then press them back down. One more of those, then let's take it into a roll. So we're going to bring it forward firstly, up, back, together, and down. So when I say together, it's the shoulder blades you're bringing together. And if we'll work our way around the back here. We can have a look at some shoulder blades coming together. Lou will give us a demo of this. Look, can you see how the shoulder blades come together? Lovely, thank you, Lou. So really squeezing those shoulder blades together. From there, bring it in and let's lift the foot off the floor. I want you to peel your heel off firstly, peel the ball of your foot and then your toes, and then point the toes down at the floor, and then place it back down. So we peel it off and then place it back down. And what I mean by peel is we don't just lift it off. It's actually a fluid motion, taking one part of the foot off at a time and then placing the foot back down again at one portion at a time as well. Okay, from there, let's put. So we'll come over here, Lee. Don't worry, you're safe. We're going to swing from the shoulder. Conservative. My goodness, look, he is conservative today. What's up with you? Have you hurt your shoulder or something? Have you been having elocution lessons? Or deportment lessons? Lovely. And then from there, late entry, look, John. So give us 10 press-ups, John, for being late. Okay, and from there, let's take it to a heel dig in front. So just dig that heel in front and just place the heel down and then bring it back in. At the same time, give me a bicep curl. You bored already, Lee? He's checking his watch out. We've only just started and he's checking his watch or anything. Oh, what could we do now? Could be. Okay, and then from there, let's bring it back into a march. Let's take those arms out sideways, lateral. So just towards your shoulders and back in. Let's bend the elbows. So degrees. So we've got that motion there, look. So here, look, Lou. This one here. That one there, that's it. And then from there, yeah, so all the way above and back down. So we're keeping that bend in our elbow. Good morning, John, how are you? Good, good. I'm very well indeed, thank you. He's back after a few days off. Yes, it's always the way, isn't it? It's going to be a scorcher this week, mate. And then come back here, let's march it out again. And let's make this march a little bit bigger. We're still thinking about the foot coming off. Each part of the foot at a time. So, balls of the feet and then toes. And then coming back down with toes, balls of the feet and heels. Peeling it off the floor. We're peeling off the floor today. Peeling our heels off, yes. Peel, peel, peel. I'm going to give up. Something shiny up there now, Lee. This guy, he's easily distracted. Just because he's got all conservative, he's all easily distracted. I'm not quite sure if you heard that, everyone. Let's just do that again. Here, John. You're raising to... Gosh, you've got your Televade voice on as well today. Blimey, let's take those feet just outside our hips, and then we're going to shift the weight to the side. And then take it to the other side. To put it another way, yam go this way, then yam go that way. That's Jack, isn't it? Yeah. All right, Babs. I haven't either. Apparently they sing, and if you haven't got the tune, then you have no idea what they're talking about. Lovely. Bring it back in. So bring those knees up. Try and get your knee level with your hip, parallel to the floor, and still think about that foot placement. So as you bring the foot up and as you place it down, it's a quiet movement. There's no stamping. Excellent. Okay. Let's take the feet outside our shoulders, just in line with our shoulders, sorry, and a trunk twist to the side, back into the center. Now, let's try and focus on keeping towards the front. If you struggle with this, then what you can do is lean against the wall. If you feel your buttocks coming off the wall as you lifting and twisting through your hips. For any of you ornithologists out there, your butt hawks lifting off. Okay, from there, bring it back in. Let's march it out again. So big, strong march, lifting those feet off the floor, and then let's take it to a kick into the bum behind. So shifting your weight from side. Excellent. And then from there, we're going to take this into an actual side step. So come back into the center, have a little march to start off with, and then step across to the side, bring the foot back in, and then step across the other way. Now, when you bring your feet back in, don't put them right close together. So we'll have a look at this over here. Let's see. Yeah, you've corrected it now, John. Good, good. If we put the feet right together, not on top of each other, but can you see that there is a smaller base of support there? If we have a look at Becky here, we can see there's a bigger base of support. So, reason why. Now, what I want you to do at the same time is put a little squat into there as well. So as you step across, a little squat in there as well. It's a bit coordinated, so let's have a look over here. Yeah. Lovely. And then come back in and march it out. Let's bring those knees in again, and let's take the hand, opposite hand across to the knee. So we've got some trunk rotation in there. We've got some mobility into our hip flexors, into our knees, and into our ankles, and also through our shoulders. Excellent. Now, if you want to make this a little bit harder, take the forearm across the knee so you get a bit more rotation into there as well. Okay, from there, bring it back down into... And let's take those arms up towards our chest again like a bicep curl. And then shoulders ceiling, shoulders floor. So shoulders ceiling. That's it. Hi. Just happened to be. Trying to share it around. I'm not trying to catch you out. Look at that lovely move. Have a look at that. It's fluid. It's elegance personified. And then we come over here. Lovely. You're very dignified today, Lee. What did you do on your bank holiday? Blimey. It's a different man, isn't he? Different person today. Yeah, word. From there, let's bring it back into a march. Let's make it a bigger march. So, not faster, just bigger. That's it. Keep the feet moving. Keep marching. And then just to finish it off, let's bring some arms in. So some swimming arms. Take it all the way through. And then hold it there. Let's get ourselves started with our circuit then. So, we're going to have 7 stations for you today. Our first station is a squatting around the world, so hopefully you'll see some of the movements that come as well. So our squat around the world, as always, an easy, medium and a hard option. Right, John is in our easy position today. So, let's have a look at that movement. So, can you see? Yep, he's actually sitting down on the chair. Can you see how he makes contact with that chair? Knees come no further forward than the front of the shoes and lifting up and placing the hands above. In our medium position we have Becky today. Becky, same movement with some weight, but can you see the difference here? She's not actually touching the chair totally. So there might just be a little touch, whereas John was actually placing himself down onto that chair briefly. And then we come to Lee, who's in our hard position. Oh. Now, all we want Lee to do now is place his thumbs on the outside of those weights with that bang that he had at the top there. See how he lifts up onto the toes. So there's a little bit of propulsion up onto the toes, and it's a bit of a deeper movement down there. But can you see the knees still come no further forward than the shoes? Right, let's get ourselves ready to go then. So a minute of clear, let's do it. Off we go. So lift and raise. Staying tall, hinging from your hip. So have a look at everybody's back. Can you see how they hinge from their waist? Becky's having a little bit of a sing-song as well. Feet on the floor for our easy and our medium position. It's when we come into our harder position that you've actually got that lift onto the toes. So by lifting onto the toes, you're challenging your balance, but also working into your calves a little bit more as well. Whereas these medium and easier option, it's more focused into your quads. Still focused into your quads as far as your harder option is concerned. That's difficult to say, it's front of your five. But it's working into your calves a little bit more as well, as far as the option is concerned. How are we doing, Lee? Is it all right? Well, perhaps this is not a good time to tell you I didn't press start. But I did really. There you go. That seemed like a really long minute, didn't it? We're going for an upright row and a calf raise. Upright row and a calf. Right, so we have Lou in our easy position. So upright row, bringing the hands up, keep them a little bit closer. So we've got them in close to the chest, not lifting, and can you see the raise onto the heels? There we go. John is in our medium position, and in our medium position, we have exactly the same movement. We've just added some weight into it. So with both Lou and straight back, good posture up throughout the whole of the body. Then we come to our harder position, which is Becky. And the difference is a little pause at the top. Now that pause can be as long or as short as you want it to be, but certainly no more than about 5 seconds. So if you only want to pause it for a second, that's fine. It's just that holding it in that position that we're looking at. Okay, so a minute to go, off we go. So again, let's have a look at Lou here. Can you see the line? Lifting onto the toes. Now, I'm going to come down here, and this might seem a strange thing, but I'm going to look at Lou's feet, look. Have a look at the crease in the shoe. Can you see how it goes? John, look. See how the crease goes the shoe. The important part there is, if you go out onto the side of your, and it's the same for Becky, look. If you go out onto the side, you're going to get a diagonal crease across your shoe, which you do not want. So, go out onto the side of your foot slightly for me. No, it's like that. Can you see the difference? And there's, thank you very much, there's undue pressure onto your knee joints, which we don't want, and undue pressure onto your ankles. So there's a method in the rubbish that I talk. Sometimes, yes. Just, well, you're easily fooled. There we go. This little pause at the top, again, no more. The important thing there is whenever you do come up onto your toes in a calf raise, you come onto the second toe. You don't come onto the toe. Right, seated step over. So you have a seat. This is where I told you need your seat. You might want to anchor it against a wall or a table or something. You're looking very pensive there, Lee. Deep in thought. Okay, so Lee's in our easy position. Now, for those who Kenny Everett, this will be a familiar move. Yeah. Across. Sitting up fairly straight. We're showing our age now, aren't we? Lifting up fairly straight. A little bit of a movement backwards, but trying to pull through the upper body. Then we come to our medium position. Same move, but legs are together. This is tough. This is a hard workout onto your hip flexor, so right at the very top. But again, can you see how there's a foot movement down? Brilliant, thank you, Lou. And then we come to our harder option. And can you see? We're ready whenever you are, John. Whenever you want to start. There's actually placing the feet away, and he never actually touches the floor as well. I could watch this for hours. Could you? Anyway, while he's just doing this, go and get yourself... Right. Moving on to a minute of it. Let's go. So, 1 foot at a time. Foot comes down onto the floor. Toe is placed first and then through to the heel here. With Lou, we're just placing the toes onto the floor. A slight bit of a lean back, so you're getting a little bit of a work into your abdominal area. Holding on, but not on for white knuckles as far as that chair is concerned. Then we come to John, who, as you can see, is in pain from that face. just look at that face. So let's have a real deep analysis of this movement. So you can see that there is some movement into the knees there, some flexion and some extension into those knees. Can you see how actually touch continuous movement? So it's a continuous movement from side to side, trying to a bit more of a lean back as far as that's concerned. A bit more of a lean back as far as that is concerned there. That is you done. That last one, you are getting a real workout into your abdominals. You're getting a workout with your abdominals as far as the medium one is concerned. Not so much as far as the easy one is concerned. It's more into your hip flexors, but certainly with that hard one, it is a real workout. Right. Leg. Yes. Right, here we are. Easy option is Becky today. And let's just have a look from the side. So can you see we're lowering down, trying to get those elbows degrees and lifting that foot slightly off the floor. So a bit of a knee lift to bring that foot off the floor. Then we come to our medium option. And Lee is our medium option. Again, a lift down, but the leg extension this time is further out and almost parallel to the floor in front, okay? Then we come to Lou's in our hard option today, and the movement here is a step dip. And so we've got a tricep dip and a lift of that leg, opposites every time, so changing leg every chair on that one as well. So it's a bit deeper into your triceps. Are you ready? Let's go. All I can say is someone is in a bad mood this morning. Whoever wrote this circuit. This is tough. Now, what you might want to do, another option for you here, if you struggle with tricep dips, is you can place your hands onto the chair and you can lean back. It's not you. You designed this. You've got to do it. No, go on then, Lee, do it. So sit back onto the chair, onto the very edge of the chair. Seat. Chair seat. That's the bottom bit, that's it. And then lean backwards and bring your knee up. But bend your elbows, so you're still working into your triceps. God. You know that saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? There's the living proof, look. Right, so I'll show you a little bit later on for the next round. There you go. That lift of the... And you can see how Lou is keeping herself elbows bent all the time, so those triceps are continually switched on. Great. An alternative for that, because that is a real hard one, folks. If you struggle with your tricep dips, you can still work into your triceps without the actual dip, because I know some people will struggle with that. What it's also going to be good for, though, in all seriousness, is building wrist strength. Right, core rotation and push. So Johnny, our easy option today. He is. So we've got a step across to the side and a core rotation there, pushing the hands away. Imagining you've got something in your hands though, so you're feeling that resistance. Slightly harder than easier, but not quite as hard. We've got that step across to the side, rotation through the hip, and pushing the ball away. And then we come to Lee, who's in our harder option. Yes, yeah. That's not what I was expecting. No, it wasn't that what I was expecting at all. But anyway, he's got a heavier weight. He's extending away. He's up on. Right, let's get ourselves ready to go. Are you ready? Let's go. So, step across the side. Now, I want you to have a look at the foot placement. So, can you see? We step out, toes coming down onto the floor first, and then down onto the heel and pushing away. Twist through the rotation. There, okay? Now, you can see this is where the difference becomes obvious. If we have a look at the feet as far as feet stay flat on, you've got that twist and that extension. Then you come to Lee, and we've got the lift onto the toes. So again, we've got the lift onto the toes, and we've got a big way. Okay, now what you could also do for this one, if you want to make it a little bit harder, the very end of it. So hold it out and pause there, just for 5, Lee. 4, 3, 2, 1.5, 1 1/4. And there you go, that's another option you can add in if you wanted to. Have you? I must admit, that wasn't what I was expecting from Lee. I must admit, but there you go. That is your minute. Expected. This is the one you're expecting. I was expecting Becky to be in the hard position for that last move. But no, we got mixed up. Side step and a reach, sorry. So can you see here with Lou, we've got the feet wider than our shoulders, shift of weight from side to side, bringing that hand down towards the floor. One foot is staying on the floor the whole time. We've got a slight lift as we do it. We come to John, medium option. You've got that little side step in the middle. That little cha-cha-cha. Oh, there we go. Jazz hands as well. Becky was in the... You can see, so I got confused. It's easily done. Long weekend. So can you see how there's a shift of weight and a jump in the middle? Now, when you do this, make sure you lift off from the balls of the feet and you land on the balls of the feet. You don't... There's a lot of shock going up through the body. You ready? Let's go! I want to come sideways on. Can you see the posture? Can you see how the foot is lifting and the toe is staying on the floor as far as Lou is concerned with that reach? But again, it's a hip hinge, so there's no bending from the waist. Again, we come to John, and again, exactly the same there. That little step in the middle, and that little cheeky smile as he came side. Camera shy. And then we come to Becky, and again, I'm going to do the hip hinge. So again, there's no bending from the waist. That little bit of propulsion in the middle with that step across and reaching across the body. So as you reach down, you're taking the opposite hand to the opposite foot. That's it. There we go. We are nearly there. You only have 10 seconds of this left. Good job. Keep breathing normally as well. Keep focusing. And if you need to bring it down a level, bring it down. You have no equipment involved in this, so you can easily move down through the levels. Watch out. Here's our last move. I always think twister around a wood chop, isn't it? Or is that not? Yeah, that's it. That's it, isn't it? Wood chop chops. I'm bound to get myself into trouble if I try and say it though, so we won't do it. That's Becky's just recovering from. Becky's just recovering. I hasten to add, it is Becky's first day back from holiday as well, so, and John's. So you probably see John doing that in a minute. Okay, this is our easy option for our wood chop. Who chops the chop with the wood? So we're going to go from side to side. Now, I'll call out your 30 seconds so you can change side for me. Okay? If you're doing this option. Okay? So we'll do 30 seconds and away we go. Feet flat on the floor. There's a slight rotation through. Thank you, Lee. No, the pleasure was all mine, Lee. Sorry. Here we have our medium option. So we've got that wood chop is going in a sort of like 180 degree circle across from side to side. So you bring it down in the middle. Then we come to John, who's obviously thinking about bung out. And again, I'm going to call out your 30 seconds on this one so you can change side. Deeper squat. So it's not a shift of weight this time. And a lift and push. And the weight is involved in there as well. So, 1 minute to go. Let's do this. Off we go. Chopping. Okay, so look again at posture. So from the hips, we have a hinge from the hips. We're taking that down and then lifting it up and across. Here, shifting that weight. Again, the ball of the foot and the toes are staying on the floor as we shift the weight. Weight swinging from side to side, but control. This is your 30-second mark, so if you're in easy or hard option, change your direction. Okay? With your medium option, you can stay where you are. John, as you can see, look, he's got the squat. So as he reaches to that side, he's bringing the heel off and coming onto the toes. Again, just hinging from the hips, so there's no protect. And from our waist, we put pressure onto our lower back. Also, have a look on this squat, how the knees come no further forward. Therefore, you're not putting round of the circuit. So, grab yourself a drink, and then we'll get ourselves going with the second circuit. Now, what I want you to do this time is, if you took the easy option, medium option, if you took the medium option, where you can come down through the levels. So, let's have a quick look. Okay, we have a look at this circuit again. If we look at our let's have a look, there we are. Our upright row and our calf raise. There's some weights involved in that. There's a light on this now, so you can't really see this, can you? Let me go, let me move that there. But if we have a look at our side step overs, there was no weight involved in that at all. It was just various degrees of how you were doing the legs. You can easily, and then bring it back down if you need to, okay? Same with our tricep dip lift. Again, there was no weight involved in that. It was your body that was doing all of the work. So there's an option there to bring your up or down through the levels to try it. Your side step and your reach, there was no weight involved in that either. So again, you can try different options. It's about how the feet are moving and what the rotation is like within there, the reach. Okay, wood chop there was. So there's plenty of options for you to do some different levels and then come back down to another level when you... Okay, so you've kept your feet moving, you've got yourself a drink, you're recharged, you're hydrated. Circuit number 2, squat around the world. Now, there are weights involved in this. So let's get ourselves ready to go with this. Again, quick demo from John of the basic move. It's a squat down and then it's a lift up and a rotation. Are you ready to do your minute? Let's go. So easy option, no weights involved. Harder option, we have the just touching the chair briefly, whereas John is making a little bit more contact with it down there. And then when we come to our harder option, you've got that lift onto your toes as well. Again, remember, with that lift onto your toes, you're coming up onto your big toe onto the sides of your feet. That puts a lot of pressure onto your ankle, and we want to avoid that. Hinging from our hips again, so there's a lot of hip hinging going on today. Knees are not locking out as we come up, so as we come out of that squat, we're keeping the knees slightly soft, and we've got a good wide base to work from. Weights are included in the second option, in our medium option, and in our third option. quite easily try going from medium to hard or hard back down to medium. The transition to easy is not going to be that easy to do. Really? So, there we go. That is your minute. Let's move ourselves on. Upright row and our calf raise. So again, this is one where you're going to come up onto the toes. So big toe and second toe, avoid coming out to the side. I remind you the option. Arms coming out to the side, raising up onto the balls of the feet. Our harder option into the medium one is adding those weights in, lifting all the way up. That little pause in there, so hold and pause at the top for as brief or as long as you want, but no more than about 5 seconds. We don't want to wait. Let's go! Posture, we're tall, we're strong. Can you see how the feet just lift off the floor slightly? Hands staying in close to the body. Undue pressure on ourselves, and certainly as far as this heel raise is concerned, we're not challenging our balance. If we take those arms out further in front, we're going to challenge our balance. And that little hold there. So I'll just get John to show us this. Take the weights out a bit further in front, John. And you've got a challenge into that balance as well. Thank you. So keep it close into the body. There you're also working into the right part of the shoulders too. Out in the front, so it's working into the shoulders as well. Standing tall, lifting and lowering with control. So this is always with control. Never let out of it. Controlling that movement. It. Right, this is one of those where you can move up and down through the options quite easily. So, seated step overs. All right. Our easy option is our base, the medium as the base as well, because the big difference here is it's 1 foot at a time, okay? Toes come down firstly and then above from there. Then we come to our medium option, so I'll show you this as a base as well, because it's both feet. Same sort of movement, but both feet at the same time. And then our harder option, push and extend those feet away. So a lot more work going on in abdominals there, without the feet touching the floor all the time. Are we ready to go? Let's do it. Right. Have a look at our foot placement. He's coming down onto the floor. Yeah. Lifting as high as you can through that motion. So, if range of motion is you can, remember your range and your speed is the correct one. What you do want to make sure you do, however, by challenging yourself. So don't just go lower because it's easier. Challenge yourself. Now this one here, you can quite easily make that transition. So if we just come to John, and John can show us how we can quickly move from high to medium. There we go. Thank you, John. And then likewise, we can show how Lee can go from easy to hard. Seeing as he was taking the mickey out, John, there you go. You can easily make that transition. So you can easily go up and down through the levels. See back for you, John. It's all right, it's my pleasure. There you go, that is your minute on that one. Now this again is one where you can level, so give it a shot. Tricep dip with leg. Hold this a second. Come to the side. Oh, here. Right. This is what I meant by that change, okay? So from that option here, you can be here, hands onto the chair backwards, and this is your movement. To still work into your triceps, right? So you can see how the elbows are moving. You've still got your leg lift, or your double leg lift, or whatever it is that you're doing. Yeah? Perfect. So you see how you've got that movement into your elbows. What's that old saying? If you want something to do right. Okay. So this is our tricep dip. So the base option, look, is there. And then it's various levels. Thank you. No, not yet. Not yet, Lee. We were just showing the base level. So as you go up through the lines, it's varying how those feet move and the depth of it. So again, you can see how you can go up and down. You ready for your minute now? Let's go. So towards the floor, try and keep your bottom closer in. Now, the thing with this one is, the further you take your feet away, the harder that move becomes into your triceps anyway. We're challenging it because we're taking 1 foot and elevating it. But you can see how there's a big difference here. If you can see Lou in the background, look, and you can see Lee here, Lou has her feet further away. So instantly, we've got more resistance and a harder intensity into our triceps with this, regardless of the fact that we've got that lift into the legs, all right? So remember that option you could do as well if you struggle with those tricep dips or you need to give yourself a rest. At the edge of the chair, let your elbows bend as you lean backwards so you still get some work into your tricep. It's not going to be as effective as this movement, but if you're feeling really, really tired, then it's an option for you. Remember, what you're also doing here is you're working into your wrists because you're loading the weight down through the wrists, and our wrist strength is really important to us. Right, core rotation and a push. So, wrist strength, just to go back to it, really important. One of our main points of fracture is our wrist, because we always put our wrists out to support ourselves. So, if we can build strength in our wrists, we're doing ourselves. Here we go with our rotation and our push away. So the base move is there, look, a rotation to the side and a push away. As we go through the levels, we add weight in. Here exactly the same move, and then we come to our harder option, and not only do we add weight in, but we add more of a twist, and we've got that coming up onto the toes as we twist. Okay, let's do this. Off we go. Right, the rotation here, look. Now, when we did our core rotation in our warm-up, we talked about keeping the hips locked. Here we're not, because we're actually twisting and taking the body across. We've got that lift onto our toes as we push away across as well. We've got the addition of weight here into this one as well, and more of a twist in there as well. Can you see? And then we come to our harder option. More weight, slow and controlled. And remember, as far as weights is concerned, we're talking about milk bottles filled with water, filled with sand, soil, tin cans, bags with shopping in, as long as it's secure, it's not going to move around. So lots of things you can utilise at home. You don't have to have a medicine ball just lying around, or options there for you as well. We're almost there. Keep going, keep going. Just this last second and you are done. All right. This is our side step and reach. A side step and reach. A side step and reach. I've got a problem with my teeth. I think I put the wrong teeth in today. Right, Luke is in our base option. So it's a step across and a reach down. Step across and a reach down, taking the opposite hand across the body. We've then got our medium option, where you've got that little two-step in the middle. Yep, there you go. All right, and then we come to our harder option. You're right, Becky. It's a bigger move, so 2 or 3 steps in the middle. Look, a little bit of a leap in there as well. The important thing with this leap is come off the balls of the feet, land onto the balls. Heels or flat-footed. Right, you ready? Let's go. So, that posture is good. Hinging from our hips. We're staying tall. We're reaching across there. We've got some work into our calves. We've got some work into our thighs. We've got some work into our shoulders and into our abdominal area as well. Bigger movements. So again, look, this is one you can get to hard. So do you want to take it down to the medium for a second for me? So it's a little bit across. There you go, see. Likewise for John, if you wanted to try hard for a second, you can see a bigger move, look, with that little bit of a leap. So it's easy. Thank you, John. And Lou, if you wanted to put a little side step in as well, so you could just out, you can go up and down. Thank you, Lou. So there's lots of ability there for you to move up and down through those. You can even sit on a chair and contemplate the world, look. There you go. Thinking about his Christmas list, I think. Oh, you on holiday next week? Oh. Next week. What am I going to say? Come on, a wood chop, chop, chop. It's not going to rain, it's going to be beautiful weather next week, Lee. Becky's recovering again, look. Back option this time rather than the front. It's very important to equal it all out. There we go. Are you ready for our wood chop? It's the diagonal movement across the body, reaching but away from you on the other side. Hip rotation in there. We have some trunk rotation. Feet are flat on the floor. Into our medium option, we've added a weight in there as well. We're having a little lift of the heel off the floor as we rotate. Side. We come to our harder option. We've got a heavier weight in there. We've got a deeper move and a bigger movement as far as those arms are concerned. So lots more range of motion. This is the one where if you're in your medium option, you're going to take the weight from side to side. If you're in your easy or your hard at one time, and then you're going to tell you at 30 seconds when you can change over to the other side. Other terms and conditions do apply. Are you ready? Let's go. It's like one of those adverts, wasn't it? It's the terms and conditions. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, yeah. Are you ready? So, in all seriousness, we've got this hinge from the hip look again. I'm putting my serious face on now. On down here. We've got our feet flat on the floor, lifting that heel off. We've got another 10 seconds before we reach that halfway point. It's coming across the body look. So make the move as big as you can down towards. With the medium option, you've got that flowing swing. That's your 30 seconds, so change sides. You've got this flowing swing from side to side, lifting the foot still and placing the toe on the floor. And then we come to our harder option. And again, here we've got that lift of the heel, reaching across. So the other foot stays firmly planted on the floor. Knees never lock out. I'm going to just show you this quick look. You see how John's knee doesn't lock out when he comes up? Don't want to put undue pressure onto that knee. Exactly the same here with Lee. And with Lou in that easier medium position. Again, you've got no locking of those knees out. So it's a flowing motion. We're almost there. We're standing tall. We're standing proud. That is your minute. Great job, everybody. Circuit for today. What you need to do is have a little walk around. You need to be keeping yourself mobile. We're going to cool yourself down. So about 10 minutes really is what we're looking for. Starting a bit higher, bringing yourself down a little bit lower. Down through the intensity, down through resistance. What you're doing here is you're returning the body to its pre-exercise state. So we're looking to cool the body down. We're looking to get back to a normal breathing pattern, get our heart rate back to a normal heart rate. Let us have your feedback on how you found that today. How was it for you? The great thing with this is that because it's live, it's now going to be stored onto our Facebook page as well. So you have the option to go back and look at it later on. If you want to do it again tomorrow or the day after, you can do it. And just keep working through. You can pause it, you can have a look at the movements, you can decide which one you want to do. Just drop us a comment to let us know you've been on catch up with it as well, because it's always that you've been finding it useful. And give us your feedback. How was it? Again, remember this cool down is starting higher, you're bringing it down to work yourself down. At least 10 to us. Bye, Becky. And then we come into John. And then we have